helped us along one journey to get through something or whatever we need to. So if you're seeking professional help from any situation in your life, please don't ever be afraid. Therapy was the best thing I ever did for myself. Um, we're going to have a Q&Q here in a couple of minutes. And I do hope that you guys will partake in answering the questions. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have Jay hop in the box. We're going to do the introduction here real quick. So the Q&Q I have is definitely different. And I'm not sure how because it was the only one that I left out of the box. So we're just going to do this one because it's the one that I have. I don't know. I don't know where, I don't even remember that other Q&Q. So you're good. We're good. So if you guys are requesting the box and you are not on my show today, you are not going to get in that box unless I already know you, maybe possibly at the end. Okay. So here is the Q&Q today. It says, it is not good to have all one wants. Agree or disagree? I a million times agree. Because this is how we end up with them little spoiled brats, is when they get everything they want all the time. Right? So yeah, that's a pretty easy one. And I think sometimes, like I've been thinking about this one because I've been looking at it. And I think sometimes when we don't get what we want, it's a blessing in disguise. Right? Yeah. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, you know, like, you know, ladies and gents, think about it. Like we all have that one ex we almost was serious with, right? Like, and that stuff went all crazy, and now we're like, thank God. But in that moment, it was like devastating, right? So if you're just tuning in, guys, we're talking about it is not good to have all one wants. Agree or disagree? So, that's, yeah, I have to say, like I said, I agree 100%. And guys, I want to thank you for all the favorites. Thank you for all of the gifts ahead of time with the featured show. I'm not allowed to interact with you guys individually. My attention is for my guests. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. So just know I appreciate every gift. I appreciate every favorite. And more importantly, I appreciate you guys being here. Your time is the most valuable thing you can give somebody. So always remember that. Always remember that. So it's first, we're going to have Sally Ann, followed by Artman today. So we're going to have her hop on first. Oh, where did it go? I want to make sure I ran through all my notes first. But, you know, I'm a hot mess express over here this morning because, you know, that's just how we roll. Again, none of us are professionals, right? So we're going to keep that in mind. This is simply something that has helped us in our journey to get us through a hard time or to express any feeling, be it happy, be it upset, be it anger, whatever feeling you have. We're going to discuss how art, be it drawing, dancing, music, singing, anything, how it helps you get through, some of these situations and express yourself in a way sometimes our words cannot. Right? So, Sally, are you ready? Usually let y'all in between 10:08 and 10:10. I know you're nervous. Don't be nervous. We still have this, girl. Take a couple deep breaths. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Breathe in for a minute. Grab a drink of water if you need to. Here, in fact, I'll grab my coffee here real quick. Take a sip. We've got this. So both of my guests, because I've been sick all week, were informed of this pretty much yesterday. So let's keep in mind, both of these folks are very last minute planning to hop on here today. And Jay, thank you for finding Art Man very much. We appreciate that. So I've had my coffee, and Sally, we're going to have you in. Here you come.
Hello.
And how are you?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Don't be nervous. You're going to be just wonderful. So thank you for being on here. I know that it was, again, a very last minute thing. So I do really appreciate you willing to hop on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was honored to be asked. It's lovely.
I was sitting there, I'm like, who do I know? And you were the first one that came to my mind of somebody that I've just seen around the app. I try to have people on here that are kind and giving and warming and welcoming, right? So you've always just been really, never matter where I've seen you, you've always been upbeat and nice. I'm like, we need to get her on here. People need to know who she is. All right. We need to get you out there. So you guys, her name is actually Sally Ann. She is, however, Jill's pencil sharpener for the time being. I'm guessing a name change from an auction.
Right.
And Jill, if you don't know her, she's awesome, you guys. She is awesome. So I guess my first question to you is, when was it that you realized art was your thing?
I've always been artistic. So it was right through from childhood, really. So I didn't have the best childhood, and parents were alcoholics, and neighbor wasn't very nice. And it was kind of my escape from that. I call it now my meditation. So it kind of takes me away from everything else that's going on, so that's kind of where it started. And it's continued to be that way, to be honest.
So what is your favorite, do you prefer drawing, painting, what is your art?
Drawing
what
is my thing. So graphic pencils is everything.
And animals, right? You're really good with
mostly. I started with people. People are actually easier.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I prefer doing people. Because animals is a lot of hair. It's a lot of work.
Okay, makes sense.
But my other thing is needle felting as well. That's another thing that I can just sit and do for hours and hours. I'll show you in a bit.
So needle felting, is that like with cross stitch? Is that another word for it?
No, it is. It's with literal wool that starts out like that.
Oh, okay. This will be something new. We love new stuff.
Show you that.
That's fun.
Did you want to see those now, or just go through questions?
Of course. Whenever. Yeah, of course. I'm excited. Like I said, and as you're showing us stuff, we can, chit chat and whatnot too.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna switch the camera around.
So you mentioned that you had the tough childhood, and one of the things that I had read about. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
you make like whole little sculptures.
Yeah. So yeah, and I like these little hangy ones now.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and they're cute.
So do you just start like oh my God, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to do you do this live?
I do.
Okay,
So
well, you gotta
yeah,
let me know when you're doing the next one from the beginning, because I don't even know. I can't even try to figure out how that's done.
I know, right? It literally starts out like this stuff, and then you have a barbed needle. I don't know if you can see, it's got like little grooves on it,
Right.
and then as you're poking it, it kind of binds it together. So it's a lot
Oh
of
my
stabbing.
God. That is so neat.
Lots and lots of stabbing. Oh, I've got
That is so
this little
neat.
guy down for you. He's
Look,
normally in my bedroom.
look it. And then pipe cleaner, is that what you use for the?
Oh yeah, yeah. So pipe cleaners go in this inside so that they're fully, so you can move
Oh,
them
so they
around.
can move them.
Yeah, yeah. So you can adjust what they're
You
doing.
thought that was a real cat? Oh my God.
He's getting there, bless him. Just a head.
Right? Like sticking his head through. Like, what does he have? Like, what? That has got to be. I didn't even know that that was a thing.
I know, right? It's great. Look, they're all over my house. So I do so many of them, they end up just kind of like hanging around.
Oh my God. So, all right. So
I'll show you my cupboard.
something
Hold on.
I something I read was that art is one of the best ways for children and the young adults who come from a rough childhood to
Uh-huh.
express themselves safely,
Yeah.
without words. And I never really looked back and thought about that too much, but after reading it and like looking back, and thinking about like how kids are so, they express themselves, whether it's through art or dance or just being silly, and they're not afraid to show what they want. But as we grow older, it's like we lose that, and we lose our artistic side, and we become less fun. And
Right.
I don't know. I don't
See, I had
know.
that all through childhood. I had my art and I had my singing. I was in the church choir and then I was in like choir groups and things. Anything to get me out the house and away from stuff.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
guides and
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I left home at 15. But I was lucky enough to go off to art college. And that was like being a kid again. Art
Yeah.
college is so expressive and you get to like paint with your feet and grab inanimate objects and create just junk but amazing junk.
Right,
And
right, right.
right, I'd go
Right,
back there
right.
tomorrow.
I have a friend I went to high school with, and he would take his form, the way he does beer caps, different
Oh yeah.
different different beers he goes around and collects from different bars, and he just makes these humongous masterpieces out of entirely those. And I'm like, and he'll go so far as to break each one down, to cut the ridges off, and I'm just like, the stuff that he makes
Wow.
with that. So it it amazes me how people who really can get creative, the things that you guys come up with. I just need to learn how to do those dolls. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to have a new addiction, you guys. Y'all are going to be watching me stream, and I'm going to have a whole
Someone's
stinking
going on a
zoo.
certain site in a minute.
I'm going to have a whole zoo in my house of
This is what
creatures
I have.
I've
They're
made.
everywhere, even on my
Oh my
light
God.
switch.
Yeah. Dude, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, what do you think the longest art piece you've ever made? Like, how long do you think it took you? Like, what do you think was your longest piece?
Oh, okay. Um, they're all pretty long, to be honest. My drawings will take, well, they take at least a good 10 hours solid work, but normally a couple of weeks for each piece because I kind of like set them aside, leave them in a room just so I can keep glancing at them because you see different, if you get you get stuck in them and you don't see
Right.
stuff. So they're pretty long anyway. I think same thing with art college really. You'd have like projects and stuff, and oh my god, I made this giant throne out of a fish tank and found items and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. My dad wasn't very happy because I stole the fish tank, and then someone nicked it.
Were you able to give it back, or was it done? Was it
No,
done?
someone nicked it for another project. It disappeared. They technically found an object too.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's funny. Poor dad, out of tank. Oh geez.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
do you have your most? Do you have like a most memorable piece?
I think probably the first piece that I ever did, first drawing I ever did. That's actually no, two, a drawing and a painting. And I think it's all about recognition. So during school, when I started to draw properly, like instead of drawing my little horses and stuff, I drew a young girl behind bars from Miss Saigon, the theatre show.
Okay.
So very war torn and emotional. And I got
Yeah.
such a great response from that. And I tell you what, even my family responded to that, which meant a huge amount.
Yes.
So I think that was just a massive boost, and I'll never forget it. And
You.
as well with the painting, they put one of my paintings up in the reception at secondary school, and it was just like, I'm good enough for that, you know. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So
I
I
can
think, yeah, that,
remember one time my thing got picked to go in the hallway
yeah,
in high
right,
school. And then but when I had in college, I actually did. I took one semester of art and I would have taken more, but I just couldn't fit it into the schedule. And it wasn't my major.
yeah,
Like I kind of took it for fun, you know what I mean? And I did. I learned a lot. And I could probably pull some stuff out, but it would take some practice. Um, but I was really surprised at how lost I could get by just sitting there, and how you kind of,
absolutely.
at first maybe I was lost in my thoughts, but then it kind of, you just like, you kind of, I don't know if numb is the right word, but like the
It's
whole rest,
that's
your
why I
whole
say
surroundings.
meditation. Mm,
Yeah. It's like my
you do.
surroundings
You zone
disappear and
out.
I just engulf myself in what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
even if it's something as basic, have you heard of diamond art?
Yes, I've done some of that.
I
It's
do
brilliant.
that because it's something that I don't have to keep track of certain this is, or I could just come back to it or whatever, right? So
Right.
I do those. I have a few of them. But that's really the most artsy I've been in a while, aside from my like weird stuff up here that I put behind me. I get a little artsy with that sometimes.
Oh,
Um,
it's great. And I think I started, it reignited when I had my son, because then we could kind of go back to childhood painting, and just having really good fun and squeegeing stuff everywhere. In fact, I've still got a massive, almost wall size picture that we did
yeah,
upstairs. And it's so
nice.
freeing. It's amazing.
Mhm. It is. It
But yeah, I
is.
only started drawing again during COVID. I had quite a bit of a break,
Okay.
life,
Yeah.
started working full time, had a partner that wasn't supportive, not particularly nice, had a bit of addiction. And then during COVID, we were actually made homeless and we didn't have a lot.
Oh my.
And what I did have was a
Okay.
pencil, one pencil, excuse me. And the local shop had some paper. So I literally started again, how long ago was that? 3 years ago. And I hadn't really done anything from art since art college. Excuse me. So it's all started again now.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, I get lost. So now I've got, well, I always have had a lot of mental health issues. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the main reasons why
It is.
that's it's why it's what art helps you get through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got bipolar, PTSD, borderline personality disorder, and anxieties and
Mhm.
things, mental health wise. Um, so I overthink, I'm up and down and all over the place. But through all of this, when I can draw, I'm, as you said, you're kind of in that meditative state where you're just calm, you don't think, your brain's not going 1,000 miles an hour or going in places you don't want it to go. So yeah, it's a massive thing that gets me through the day because I'm housebound as well. I'm physically disabled from Lyme
Okay.
disease, which America knows more about. No one knows about it over
Okay,
here.
so what haven't you dealt with? Holy Moses. So art really has been super huge for you. You know,
Yeah,
art's really
yeah,
gotten you through some stuff.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
always have to be doing something like, this was a couple of weeks ago.
That's really cool. I thought I was gonna, yeah, that was gonna be one of my things. Like, what is that, paper? Like, is it a tissue
Yeah,
paper?
it's
Is
all
it paper?
paper.
What is that?
Normal
Make it
paper, and then
look,
there's some like crinkly paper. But yeah, super easy too. Fun.
yeah, super, so that looks so easy.
Oh no,
Just
it
so
really is.
easy.
Made of paper and a hot glue gun.
How many of you think you could have some paper and make it look like that? Not me.
Okay, I'm gonna do one. I'll have to do a stream with one. So
Listen,
yeah,
definitely. If you've got some, listen, one of the things you could do if you've got little like projects where somebody wants to learn how to make them flowers, send it on IG, talk to all your people, tell us what
right.
supplies we need and when to be there, and you can show us. And I guarantee you there'll be a few of us to learn that. You
I was
know,
thinking about
that's something
doing that
fun you could
actually. I
do on
really
your
was.
screen. Yeah.
Oh,
Do
I haven't
it.
shown you my
Let us know
any drawings
when
yet.
it'll be. I
Um,
no, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. Drawings for sure.
I
So real
don't
quick, if you
have
guys are just
many.
tuning in.
Got,
Oh wow.
no. So yeah, I don't have many drawings here because all of my drawings. Oh, she's one of my favourite women in the world. Um, and he greets me every morning, so he cheers me up. He's the first thing I see in the morning. He's right at the top of the stairs, bless him. But yeah,
That's
these.
funny.
Oh, so these are pretty much what I use. I use all of those pencils. They're all from like HBs to Bs, hard to soft. But
Okay.
these changed everything. These are called buffers, and you can pretty much draw
Yeah.
with that. It just takes the pencil, and you can just draw around with it. And these
I
are,
did a lot of chalk drawing.
oh, it's so messy, isn't it?
That is. That is. Is that
That
like
is a
little
fun
baby
point. Yeah.
erasers?
Oh yes, this thing. Oh, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
It
When you
is,
do that.
and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can get that so sharp, and you're drawing with all of these as much as you are the pencils, to
Yeah.
be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking about doing some drawing classes as well. So
Nice.
like, just basics really. Yeah. Okay.
Those are crazy.
Yeah.
So if you guys are just
And
tuning in, this is Sally Ann, and she's showing us her artwork. This is my featured show, Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily. Up next, we have Art Man down there, and so she did. What was those called with the foxes and the balloons? What are those called?
needle felting.
Needle felting. So like she makes those. She just takes little chunks of wool and it turns them into things. It's crazy. All kinds of, well, there's animals, there's balloons, there's little mice, fox, people, it's everything. Flowers.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Like how cute is all that stuff? That's amazing. Like I said, I definitely will have to tune in. I want to learn at least some roses behind you. I don't know if I actually have the ability to do those little critters, but I want to learn them flowers there behind you.
okay. Yeah.
For
I'll
sure,
make
for
it happen.
sure. So before I let you go,
Mhm.
please tell us, when do you regularly stream? Um,
I'm not very good at streaming. I will. I'm terrible. But with my head that goes all over the place all the time, I'm rubbish at regular doing it. So it is
okay,
just grab me when I'm
random.
on.
Okay.
But then if I'm going to do drawing classes, that's going to have to kind of really pin me down.
Right,
So
right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, you've
yeah,
got some faves, so definitely,
yeah.
I know a few of us, like I said in here, will be there for the flowers. We like doing stuff, but not all of us know how, right? All right. And do you have any auctions or any of that stuff coming up or not in the
I
near
do. I
future?
have yours.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did write them down. Again, I notice you make notes. I can't
Yeah,
remember anything unless I write it down. I have got a little bit
this
of
is
brain
my
damage, which
genie
does
book.
help. I know, right? So what do we
I
got?
got
We
two of
have
these.
got, yeah, I do.
Two.
Just mostly streaming. Um, so I've got yours is on the 30th of April, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I've got Ainsley's on May the 2nd. Your
Nice.
Eastern, isn't it? It's a 6:15. No, it's not. It's May the 27th
I don't
normally.
know. I have to look. I
Do
don't
you know
know. I can't
Ainsley?
keep track of my stuff either. That's why I gotta
Don't.
write it all.
Someone write it down for her. Writing it down or screenshots. Heaven.
Oh God. Yeah,
And I'm
I
doing actually a
definitely know.
really nice
And
one.
I've set reminders for everything too anymore. Man, my brain is just not what it's just not there anymore. It's
It's not an
overloaded.
auction with Nick. I've got Nick is doing a show on disabilities.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whether or not they're physical or mental. That's on the 3rd.
I
Yeah.
have you heard of
Bless
Charm
her.
Charlie? Have you heard of
Yes, he's
Charm Charlie?
adorable.
I think you should talk about your art with him on his show.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that lad.
I
He's
think he
great.
would love that. I think he would love that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention you to him if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. It's fine.
All right, all right, sweet, sweet. All right, so you guys, if you haven't done so already, please favorite Sally Ann. It she has done her drawings and her help me out again felt point
Nearly. Needle felting.
needle felting with the cutest little critters. And she's an amazing artist. So please hit her with the favorites. So she's going to one of these days teach us a little bit. And maybe we can be just a little bit as good as she is. I'll never be as good as you, but I'll sure practice and try. But
It's all
thank
practice.
you for sharing your artwork. I will let you go. I appreciate you so much.
Oh,
You're
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. All right, Art Man, we're gonna give it a couple minutes and I will have you hop in the box, all right? And she, you know what she says to me? I don't think that I can talk for that long. I says, don't worry, you only need to cover 10 minutes. I got you. And that was awesome. She did amazing. My point is no matter how nervous y'all are, you could do no oopsies. That was what I actually need. I need 15 to 20 minutes, but I'm prepared to cover the rest if needed, right? But if I give you a 10-minute time frame, that's less worry for you, and then I'm prepared if needed, right? So it's okay. It was absolutely perfect. It was absolutely perfect. That was awesome. That I needle felt is that it's got to be one of the coolest things. I didn't even know that you just took little. I didn't know that that's how that was. I just didn't know. I'm kind of flabbergasted that you can take pieces of stuff and turn it into things with a needle. You know, like I don't know, my mind is blown. And did you see her drawings? Did you see Cindy Crawford? Like, did that not look like actual real stinking life? Like, I'm mind blown. They're fighting downstairs again. Sorry, that's the great thing about live streaming. You never know what you're gonna get. Did y'all see the thing a bang a bang? That's oh god. Okay, so what we do in between each guest, and I only have time for it's like the third time. We only have time for maybe one or two questions. So my first question to you that I ask every single time during my self-love, self-care tips and quote or tips and questions is what have you done for yourself today? What have you done for yourself today? I got up, I got ready, and I'm here. Hello, Bethany shower. Yeah, this is like the first thing I did. I needed a shower this morning. I was feeling so bleh. Rest, nice. Sally Ann says doing this. T said say some prayers. Where is she? Says I got out of bed. Marie says coffee. Melody says please favorite our host. Going to the gym, says Slavin. Lisa says I relaxed. Giving yourself. I love that, Aaron. I high five myself. I high five myself every morning and make myself say 3 nice things. Fire and ice. I mean, I do that too, but that's not for me. That's for y'all. Because if it was up to me, I can't say that we're on a featured show, but you get it, right? Okay. Question number 2. I want all of you right now to give me one positive thing in your life. I want one positive thing in your life. Aw, Nemo. Mwah. Your son, says Sally Ann. Artman says family. Lisa says wheels. Smiley says bacon. Fire and Ice says my kid. Kathy says my health. Panda says my job. Marie says my friends. Bernice says family and you. Zara says my kids and Jay. Aw. Aaron says the food I eat. We got friends, memories, and so much more. For all of you that do not know me, me and Love are a little when you all get that super cute and adorable, it makes me a little nauseous. I mean, more power to you. I love you and congratulations, you two. However, is where my brain goes. Y'all just, whew, that stuff scares me to the holy high heavens. All right. If you had time right now, I think I asked this last week. Right now, if you had one day, we're going to limit it. If you had one day to do anything you wanted, what one thing would you pick? I'm going to make you guys like really dig into your brains this week because y'all gave me pretty like random questions like travel. Like where's that place you need to see in that day? Who's the person you need to meet? You know, what is that one thing you haven't tried yet? Ability to be grateful, but a hug is the best. I'm an art major. Ooh, nice. You pick me? You better stick around a little bit longer. You have to make sure that that's the one thing you really want on that one day. With Nikolai Tesla, the scientist. Ooh. See your papa again? I think that's what I'd pick too. Your grandparents, meet your future wife. Where is she? Ooh, to Barcelona. Why Barcelona? Get a real massage, says Lisa. Ooh, I'll trade you if you're good at it. That doesn't sound like a bad idea either. Does not sound like a bad idea either. So if you guys are just tuning in, welcome to my featured show, Lessons Learned. I am Silly Lily, and you miss Sally Ann and her amazing needle felt work and her fantastic drawings. And we learn that she faces some mental health issues, and art has been her main release for any obstacles she's had to face, and it has helped her through some tough times. And I'm excited to get to see what Artman has to show. But first, we must give some self-love, self-care tips. And for my regulars, I will give you all one guess to what the first thing I'm going to say is. Go ahead. Someone's gonna say it. Drink water. Make sure you are all drinking plenty of water. I am going to tell you all to do this, I think, every week because it amazes me at how many of you are unaware that you are supposed to drink half of your body weight in fluid ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking at least 50 ounces of water a day. And by water, I mean just H2O on the rocks. No tea, no soda, no alcoholic beverages, okay? Water. If you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water. Are you guys getting it? If you weigh 120 pounds, you should be drinking 60 ounces of water. I don't know if any of you are aware of this. Come here. I have a secret. Come here. I think you guys might have skipped a day in health class. Come here. I have a big secret. I have a big secret. Listen, did you know our bodies are mostly made of water? Oh my God. I know, you guys. I know. But listen, it is so important that y'all drink that water. Okay. I know that you missed that day in health class. You had to miss that day. But our bodies are made of mostly water. So if you're not drinking water, your skin probably isn't as happy and healthy, right? You don't feel as good. I promise. I wake up every day and I end every day with half a glass of water. Yes, it does make me go all day long. Featured show or not. Okay? Yes, that's what water does. But you eat less, you feel better, and you have more energy. I think that's a fair trade. I have my glass or two of coffee every day. But other than that, I drink water, sometimes tea. Water, water, water. Okay, enough. You guys get it. Now, self-care tip number 2. Artman, are you ready to get in the box, my dear? We're just going to go with the flow of this. Practice self-talk. Someone mentioned that they give himself a smile, and I mentioned that I high-five myself every morning and make myself say 3 things that are positive. And I'm going to say that practicing self-talk, it's the ultimate. It is the, listen, self-care, self-talk, on how you speak about yourself and how you portray yourself to others is seriously the biggest form of self-respect, self-care, self-love. Um, I'm working on that. I struggle with that, and my people make sure that they call me out on it every time. Every single time. If I say something, they let me know. And they're like, excuse me, we don't think that that's nice. And I'm like, but I don't care. And they're like, but we do. And I'm like, okay, fine. I won't say it again. Cheese Louise. Art man, are you ready? I'm going to let you in. So guys, if you're just tuning in, this is a featured show. Lessons learned. I am Silly Lily, and we are welcoming Artman. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favors. During a show, I'm not able to interact with you guys one-on-one, so I apologize for all that. But thank you. Hi.
Lily, how are you?
Good. Is that your art back there?
Yeah, I'm actually at work, but I'm on break, so.
Okay. Nice. Well, thank you for being here. I know it was kind of a last-minute ordeal, so I super appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So I'm going to ask you, I guess, the same question I asked her. The first question is, when did you realize art was your thing? Like,
when I was really little, my mom always told me this. I don't really remember it, but apparently I would take crayons and draw all the way around the wall in my room. So even though she was like upset about it, she couldn't help but love the fact that it was art, you know?
right.
So very early on, yep.
Yeah, that is awesome that she just kind of let you do that, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like so many times I got to a point I let my kid draw on his wall. I mean, he's not an artist by any means, but it just got to a point I'm like, it's a layer of paint. Why am I fighting this? Like, just keep it to your bedroom and I'll be okay. And it actually ended up kind of being cool at the end of it. You know, all of his little squiggles and draws and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a layer of paint to get rid of it. So I like that your mom let you do that. So what is your art? Do you just draw? Do you do other stuff?
I do. It's kind of been a blessing and a curse at the same time because I'm very gifted at many things. I'd say if I had to pick one of the things that I'm the most good at or talented would be drawing. But I paint, I do sculpture, I do music. I just got into 3D printing and like design or AutoCAD.
Yeah.
So I do a lot, and I play instruments.
Okay.
Used to play violin. I used to play violin. I mean, I still can, and I can read music with that. Piano a little bit. Guitar tabs, like tablature, just shows you the fingering. Yeah, that's about it on the music. I make beats, the freestyle. I'll tell you towards the end. My event's coming up, but I rap, awesome. Freestyle rap. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not
That's
the goat.
crazy.
I'm not the goat. Not claiming to be the goat, the greatest of all time or anything, but more like an adult diary.
Adult diary, nice.
Yeah.
So what do you think your longest piece was?
Um, time wise.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm just curious to
it's
see the lengths of time people put in, you know?
yeah, and it's a good question because well, I'll answer it first. Probably 2 weeks with like 8 hour days. So I don't know how many hours that would be, and we'll just say five days out of the week. A lot. It was my final project for my Bachelor of Fine Arts, the gallery showing. So
Okay.
definitely close to like 80. I don't know if that's right from what I said, but a lot of hours. But to follow up on that question,
Mhm.
I've never had a painting or drawing where I felt like I can't do anymore. I always feel like there's always something else I can do. But I've also struggled with that because sometimes you get to a point where you're just, like you're not really feeling it anymore, or you've lost what you were trying to capture. So.
Get stuck. So yeah, is
Mm-hmm.
that so when you get stuck, you just kind of put it down, walk away, do something else and come back to it? Or is it usually just a done project if you walk away from it?
It kind of depends. Like if it's something for me, I usually step away from it, and I'm working on multiple pieces, my own work. But I do a lot of commission work, a lot of portraits. On Meet Me app and Plenty of Fish, I do portraits of my friends that favorite me. Wink, wink. So for free. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of walk away when they're my pieces because I like to think and let my life kind of dictate where it's going to take me with the art.
Yeah, that's kind of, I was reading that it's art is how a lot of people who, I'm not saying you do, but when you struggle to come up with words, art's kind of like a lot of it's one of the best ways for, especially they were saying, is like kids to express themselves, you know, kids that come from a home that's rough and they don't really want to talk about it. And like the one article was saying some of the stuff that these kids would draw or make or sculpt, and you know, it's not featured show appropriate, you know, to even
Right.
bring up what those items were, but
Mm-hmm.
that was their way to
Or let
express
it out.
and talk about what was wrong, and to talk about, or to let people know what was going on, how they needed help, and it allowed people to help them in ways that otherwise wouldn't have been, you know, detectable or understandable or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you brought that up because I wrote that down as a note. I believe that art's a universal language. I mean, humans have been using art since the early, like caveman, Cro-Magnon or whatever they were called. But it is a way of expression. So, but yeah, I think it's a universal language.
Yeah. And so you saying how you kind of let what brought that to my memory was you saying like how you kind of just wait for your feelings to help push, you know, like, and it's, yeah, I think that's awesome though. I wish more adults could see that. Cause I mean, I don't necessarily do artwork like that, but I've got my things, my flowers, my plants, and that's how I get out that's the stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah, and really, I think not necessarily just creating, but doing something that brings you joy to me is art. I mean, if that's shopping and buying shoes or something, then that, to me, I mean, that could be art. There's a craft to it. Not everyone can just go out and buy shoes that you like.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Shoes are just shoes to me, but.
But to some people they are not.
Yeah, absolutely.
My son was one of those shoe people for years, and I'm like, I'm not spending $500 on a pair of shoes you're not going to even fit into in 3 months. Are you nuts? But mom, no kid, no. So what do you think was your most memorable piece and why?
My most memorable? Well, that's a really good question. Probably one of my, man. Okay. I do a lot of the portraits of people that have passed away. So like loved ones that people have lost. I did one for Christmas, one for my mom. It was my grandpa who passed away. He had a stroke years ago and lost like the mobility and the half size of his body. Um, and my mom has a lot of brothers and sisters, like twins, two other sisters and a brother. So um, she ended up, I want to say, getting stuck taking care of them, but she's a giving, caring soul and very, nurturer. So she invested a lot of time taking care of them towards the end, and it was just kind of my way of kind of I don't know, not putting on a pedestal, but just like thanking her for doing that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
no one else in the family really did. Not to say they didn't love him, but they didn't drop everything and take care of him. He was in an assisted living too, but still you
Yeah,
need
but
people there.
still, that's a hard role to take on too.
Yeah, so I did a portrait of my grandpa for her.
Exactly, Bethany. Exactly.
Most meaningful, heartfelt.
So a picture of your grandfather is probably your most memorable. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's see. What would you say is your biggest influence in the artwork?
Like an artist or just influence in general?
In general, or both.
Okay, well, I'll start with in general. Growing up as a kid, like I had all the crayons and stuff on the wall, as I had mentioned before, but I was really into like Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, trying to think, Dungeons and Dragons, just like, cartoon stuff. And when I got to elementary, like middle school, I think it was, one of my friends and I, we did like a comic book of school. So like, the bully, the cute girls and whatnot, they were all in our comic book. But that was definitely the inspiration for me. Was the Spider-Man and just like the things I'd watch on Saturday.
Right,
you know.
right.
Now, as far as like influences or inspiration from an artist, famous artist or non-famous, I probably Caravaggio. He was from the Renaissance.
Okay.
I forget his first name, but he had what they called false lighting. So like back in that time, they didn't have spotlights. They didn't have, I don't have it here with me, but the digital LED ring lights or whatever. I've got just a little handheld one, but anyway, his paintings had light that was coming down. Like there was a light source that didn't make sense because it was all by candles and but it was like it glowed or it filled them with light, almost made it look like a relic or a religious piece. I liked him. I have a lot of influences. MC Escher, Frida Kahlo, Jackson Pollock, and then I could just keep going. Albert Durer.
I know Jackson Pollock. That's about it out of those guys.
Yeah, I have a real quick. I had a restaurant concept, and ever since COVID, I'm also a chef too. Not certified, but I've worked with a lot of chefs and sommeliers and did wine pairings. But anyway, I had a restaurant concept that I wanted to do. I'm not going to say the name because maybe I'll still do it, but basically the restaurant is going to have a play on art. So I would have local artists come in, we'd display their work. We'd have like wine tastings, but all the dishes would come out. So like you could order a Jackson Pollock pizza and the sauce would be splattered on it like it was dripped on. You'd paint barbecue sauce on your ribs with a paintbrush. Cocktails would come out on a palette. And then Salvador Dali had this one painting where the clocks were kind of melting. So you could get the Dali burger, the tomato would kind of melt over.
Over. Nice.
Yep.
That's fun though. See, you can take art into anything and make it just way more fun and beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah, art's always been a part of my life. Always.
That's good. Yeah, you and art. You guys are some of the most. I think art people are some of the most down to earth. You guys are able to like, just I don't know.
We're a little weird though too, but.
Yeah, but I like the weird, man.
We think differently, see things differently. I think.
Yeah, you guys bring out.
Weird, but
it's not weird. I think you guys bring out more the best in situations.
Yeah.
You guys
for sure.
can take anything and make it more beautiful or more. It's just. I don't know. I love it. I love the different views and how you guys do see things so differently, and how you're able to help us who are not as artistic see things differently. You know,
Hmm.
just by no words, just drawings. But
I like these comments in here about
I'm trying. I
Peter
had
the
to turn the
Talker.
comments off. I'm not gonna lie. I had to turn my comments off. Dang you, Slush. When your Spidey underoos and stuff. I don't get
Awesome.
So I had to turn them off for a minute. But we're back now. I see y'all now. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Silly Lily, and this is Art Man. And we have been talking about how art has helped him pretty much through most of his life, and kind of just discussed his how
Thank you.
his favorite drawings, some of his favorite artists, and
Thanks, Marie.
and whatnot. But you guys, before I let you go, Art Man, please tell us a little bit about some of your upcoming events and when we can find you live and whatnot.
Yeah, sure. So, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here.
Of course.
Thank you, Bethany. So tomorrow, at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be performing a St. Patrick's. I know it's past St. Patty's Day, but St. Patrick's Day concert. I was asked to do 15 minutes worth of music. So, I do the music. I'm going to probably do a mashup where I mix an instrumental with a different vocal from a different song, put them together, same key, same tempo. I'll also be karaokeing a song. I'm not going to say which one. And then I'm going to be rapping, freestyling.
Okay.
I'm
So
doing 3 different things. Yeah.
So it'll be through your live. Would be in your live or somebody else's?
It's somebody else's. But I have in my bio. If you go to my pictures,
Okay.
they weren't there this morning though. I don't know. Plenty of Fish has been kind of acting weird with me. I'll make sure that they're there if anyone's interested. My host though is Swirl. She changes her name every day though, so
Okay.
I'll make sure that the information's there before it happens. Okay.
Do you have IG?
But you guys should come. Yes. Yep. In my Instagram, the good call, because those flyers are there on my Instagram.
Okay.
It's on my bio as well.
So make sure you guys
And
hit
then,
him up with the fave. Hit him up with the IG
please,
fave.
it'll be fun. There's a lot of good talent in there as well.
Okay. We'll definitely try to check it out.
So that was the St. Patty's Day concert. April 16th, I was awarded the Streamer Award for my host, Swirl. That's April 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On April 27th through 29th, I'm April 27th, is the Easter egg favorite party. So I'll be doing that. And that's at 7 p.m. Again, all this is in my Instagram. April 30th, Swirl's going to do an interview with me at 8 p.m. I'm relatively new to streaming, so any opportunity I can get to put some FaceTime in, because I'm usually drawing and it's camera down. Yeah, so again, it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a face to match when we're watching you draw. But yeah, thank you again. And
with the original Art Man, is he still here? You guys know him? I saw him in the guest or the people here, but anyway, cool guy.
Yeah, Art Man's here. He's a good guy too. Well, he was here. But all right, Art Man, thank you very much. I hope you have an amazing day and have fun at work.
Thanks, everyone. All right, bye-bye.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. So we're going to do the QQ. Y'all need to behave, please. Y'all need to behave. That you guys, they're both. Did you see that artwork behind him? I was trying to watch it at first, but I felt pretty silly because I'm like this, trying to see that little screen in the back. So I'm like, just calm down. You go see him live. I was all like this. I'm like, back up. The Joker, yeah. It was a lot of really cool stuff, you guys. Both of them are amazing. I didn't even know needle felt was a thing. I didn't even know. I had no idea. But it is. It is. You know? And then Art Man, those crazy, it's just they're both absolutely amazing artists. I hope you hit both of them with the favorite. Again, you guys, thank you for tuning in. We meet here every Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, Kenny. But you missed two amazing guests today. Two amazing guests, both of them. You need to make sure you have, and she's Jill's pencil sharpener, and then Art Man. Both of them, just yeah, like I can barely draw stick figures. You know what I'm saying? So like to watch them, to the faces and the definition and that stuff is unreal. And I know that there's people that can do it. I'm just not one of them. So yeah, that was a pleasure to get to see. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you. So I've got the Q and Q for next week, but before I share that, you guys remember that we will answer this at like 10:05 next Friday morning. We don't answer this now, so screenshot it, think about it, and be ready next week with your answer. Everybody, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the favorites. I am going to do my best this weekend to get a flyer made for my IG to thank my number 1, 2, and 3 gifters. So we have Marie Booyah Boy and Miss Tawny. Try to get y'all up there. Get the flyer made this weekend. If not, forgive me. I still love y'all very much for your support. What am I missing? I think that's it, right? If you guys would like to talk more, please come back after, when my show is not featured. We can talk one-on-one and we can discuss whatever it is that you would like to discuss. But talent is insignificant. I know a lot of talented ruins. Beyond talent, I can't read it backwards. Talent is in one more time. Talent is insignificant. I know a lot of talented ruins. Beyond talent lie all the usual words: discipline, love, luck, but most of all, endurance. What is your most unusual talent? Screenshot it. And do not answer this now. We will look at this. We will discuss this next Friday morning about 10:05 a.m. Okay? So guys, again, thank you so much for all the favorites. Thank you for all of the gifts. But more importantly, thank you for your time. Time is the one thing you can't get more of, unfortunately. So I hope you guys all hit that star. I hope you favorited my top 3 and both of my guests. And let me know when we're free for sure, y'all. I got to change my picture. We're going to hang out for a few minutes after the show so we can talk and see what's going on with all y'all's brains. I'm kind of curious to pick some of them, especially if you are an artist. We'll probably do another show like this in a couple months. So if you're interested in being on it, let me know. And if you're interested in being in what I'm aware of as the first tie-dye auction, I am having that at the end of April. Let me know. I've got, I think, 10 spots left. I think that is the featured show. I think that was it, you guys. Whoop, whoop. I don't think I could have fit a third person in. I think that we had too much to talk about, that I think I feel like I would have rushed them if I would have had more. So that worked out perfect, to be honest. Who do we want to be today? Let's put Vivian up. I think we'll probably end up being her tonight. We'll throw that up for a little change. Okay. Alexa, play music.